What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. Appreciate all y'all being here. As always, we got a 8-game slate tonight. I believe we had 9 games beforehand, but the Brooklyn-Minnesota game got postponed for those of you that hadn't heard yet, which is pretty impactful because there were a lot of good plays coming from Brooklyn, Minnesota. Karl-Anthony Towns was ruled out before the game had gotten postponed, which, would have gave us a really good value play in Naz Reid, which is obviously no longer on the board. Guys like D'Angelo Russell, Bruce Brown, KD, Chris Gioza were all, popping today. So this slate's definitely changed a bit now that that game is no longer on the slate. There's not as many top-tier options, I would guess. There's not as many standout plays, but we'll still talk through everything. I'll give you guys my thoughts, let you know, how I'm kind of approaching this slate, the way I'm going. As always, I'll answer all your guys' questions over the next, 30, 45 minutes. Just if you got any questions, throw them in chat, and I'll be sure to answer them. But before we do get started with the Q&A, Patrick, my man Patrick, donated $10 super chat. As always, Patrick, I do greatly appreciate your support, man. He says, your core play and videos really helped me this weekend. Thanks for being the code of DFS. I study it every day. Much appreciated. Let's get that money tonight. Hey, let's get it, Patrick. Let's get it, my man. Thank you, as always, for your support. And thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate that. On my way to Florida from New York, my engine broke a rod in South Carolina. Need some shiny new cash for a new engine. Let's get that money. Damn, Martin, I hate that for you, man. Hey, I've been there myself, Martin. We've all had car problems before. Sucks to you. Where'd you break down at? Let me know. I'll let you know if I'm, kind of near you, if you broke down in my area. That sucks, man. I feel you. I feel your pain. I've been there before. We've all had car problems. Smash the like button. Yeah, guys, hit that like button as always. Once you get in here, I always do appreciate the likes. Brooklyn would have been mega chalk. Yeah, I would agree. There were a lot of good plays from Brooklyn. Bruce Brown, KD I don't think would have been that popular today, but I still thought KD was a good play, especially if he would have got his normal minutes. But yeah, KD, Bruce Brown, Chris Gioza was projected to be very popular. Yeah, the slate's definitely changed now. A lot of the popular plays are off the board now, so we gotta reconstruct things for sure. Oh, you're in Waterloo or Walterboro? I don't even know where that is. I know where Waterloo is, but I don't know where Walterboro is. But yeah, you're not near me then. But that sucks, man. I hate it for you. How you feel about Najee Marshall? He is getting minutes and is kind of facilitator. Yeah, he's still pretty cheap, and I know he's been starting recently. So they've been going with Eric Bledsoe, Marshall, Ingram, Zion, Adams. That's been their starting lineup lately. So they've basically been playing Najee Marshall at the 2 and then Eric Bledsoe at point guard. Last game he played 31 minutes, had 34 DK points. I don't know if we can expect to get that kind of production from Najee Marshall because he's normally, not that good of a permanent player. But a lot of the value that we were looking to on this slate is now no longer available. So I could see going to Najee Marshall if you need a cheap option. If Juan Toscano-Anderson starts for Golden State, I'd probably rather play him over Marshall, but I don't know if we're going to get that news or even when we'll get that news. Golden State's one of the last games on the night, so we probably won't have their starting lineup till later in the night. But if JTA starts, I think he's a really good value, and I'd play him over Marshall, but Marshall's fine. Yeah, Lonzo's already been ruled out, DD. We got that news this afternoon. Lonzo's out again. How many Jazz is too many? Before the Brooklyn-Minnesota game got postponed, I would have said 2. But now that game's off the board, I think 3-4 Brooklyn or 3-4 Utah guys is fine. Like Mitchell, basically their entire starting lineup: Mitchell, Ingles, Bojan, Royce, Gobert. I think all 5 of those guys are viable tonight. I wouldn't play all 5 in the same lineup, but I think you can definitely play Mitchell, Ingles. Those are my 2 favorite. But I still do have interest in Bojan. I have interest in Royce O'Neal. I'm not normally a guy that plays Royce O'Neal, but we need some value, and he's cheap. He's going to play a ton of minutes. It's a good matchup. I still do I like those Utah guys. Now that we don't have any of the Brooklyn, Minnesota guys available now, these Utah guys like Bojan, Royce look a little bit better now and are more in play for me than they were before. I like how you want the best for your subscribers. Wish you well. Noah tonight. Best YouTuber for NBA. Thanks. Hey, sure thing, Marcus. Yeah, I always want you guys to do well, man. If I don't do well, then I want you guys to do well. That's what I always say. J-Val Morant or Dejounte Murray? It would probably be between J-Val or Morant for me. Morant, dude, I hate playing Morant. Anytime I play him, he always sucks. But I have interest in him tonight, especially, now that we don't have, D'Angelo Russell, who I had a lot of interest in since he's no longer available. That's putting me on a guy like Ja Morant. My dummy lineup right now has Ja Morant in it. So anytime I play Ja Morant, he always sucks. So if I play him tonight, he's probably going to do terrible. but I do like Ja Morant. I think it would be between him or J Val. I'd probably take Morant, but it's close for sure. I think J Val is going to be really popular just because of how well he's been playing. And while I do like J Val, probably side with Morant, I think. Bazemore, yeah, Bazemore's a guy that I like a lot more now just because we don't have Naz Reid, we don't have Chris Chioza, we don't have Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, like these value guys that we were going to from Brooklyn, Minnesota. Since they're no longer on the board, that's making a guy like Kent Bazemore look like a lot better value. So yeah, I think Kent Bazemore right now is probably one of the better value plays. And if Juan Toscano-Anderson starts, as I mentioned, I like him a lot for cheap as well. But I don't know when we're going to get that starting lineup, and I don't know if he's going to start. They could definitely just start Looney, which is probably what they're going to do. But, I mean, JTA started the second half in place of Wiseman last game, so there's a chance he starts, I think. Where's the value at now? Yeah, I mean, it's with with the Utah guys. I mean, Ingles I wouldn't consider really a value, but I do like Ingles a lot. Bojan, Royce O'Neal, I think look like better options now. The Golden State guys, Kent Bazemore, Juan Toscano-Anderson, if he starts, I think those guys are who I'm looking to for value. But right now, I mean, there's not a ton of value on this slate. A lot of the value that we were going to is, no longer available with the postponement. Fox or Mitchell, that's super close for me, DD. I think I would take Mitchell, but man, I mean, I like both a lot tonight. I think those are probably two of my favorite pay-up options. Looking at all the guys we have above 9K, I think Fox and Mitchell are probably my two favorites. I think I'd take Mitchell, but it's super close between those two. Fox a top pay-up option above 9K, great matchup, and he murders Pelicans. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Jason, I like Fox quite a bit. He is smashed against New Orleans. He's played them twice this year. He's averaged 70 DK points against the Pelicans. I think one game he went for 65, and the other game he went for 70 something. He always does well against New Orleans, and it kind of makes sense because New Orleans, not really a good defensive team. They play fast. Fox he does well in fast-paced games. So yeah, he's a good option. What about Josh Richardson? If Porzingis is out, then I have a little bit of interest in Josh Richardson. Normally, I don't play those secondary Dallas guys like Richardson, THJ. I normally never play those guys, but if Porzingis winds up out, then that does make me a little bit more interested in guys like THJ and Josh Richardson. Dorian Finney-Smith, I mean, there's no way I'm paying $5,800 for DFS. I know he's had some good games recently, but even if Porzingis is out, I have no interest in Finney-Smith. If Porzingis sits, I think the guys I'd be looking to would be Richardson, Tim Hardaway, Maxi Kleber, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do here against Joel Embiid. If Porzingis is out, do they start Maxi Kleber against Joel Embiid? Do they start Boban against Joel Embiid? That's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, Embiid should have, especially if Porzingis sits. I think last time these teams played, Porzingis was out, if I remember correctly, or he was questionable. I can't remember if he wound up sitting out or not. But yeah, if Porzingis sits, I mean, Embiid should just go off against whoever they put at him or put on him. I appreciate, hopefully people let you know we all appreciate your work. Hey, people tell me all the time they appreciate it, so thank you. And I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all y'all tuning in, as always. Stream wouldn't be anything if I didn't have you guys asking me questions. I'd just be sitting here talking to myself, so I appreciate all y'all tuning in, as always. Why Bamba was chalky last night and he is again tonight. I really don't know why Mo Bamba was so popular last night. Just because, he's only going to play 22, max of 24 minutes. I mean, he's not going to play a ton. They're going to split the center minutes between him and Wendell Carter. His price has come up too. What's his price now? Hold up. I know he's almost 5K, I think, or he's 4,300. But I was looking through ownership last night, and he was 30% owned in most of the contests I was in. And he actually came through for people. He played 21 minutes, had 30 DK points. Look, I mean, I just don't like playing these guys that need to put up a massive game in 20 minutes. Minutes to me are key, and Mo Bamba at max is going to play 23 minutes. So, especially if he's going to be popular again, I have no interest in Mo Bamba. And if he goes out there and puts up 30 DK points in 20 minutes, then so be it. But even on this slate, I don't think that's going to be. He's not really going to be someone you need to have, I don't think, even if he puts up 30 DK points again. He'll be a good play, but I don't think he'll be someone you have to have. So I'm not going to Mo Bamba. I didn't play him last night, and I'm not playing him tonight. You good with Compazzo for value if Murray is out again, or more interest in Kyra Lewis with no Lonzo? I'd probably take Campazzo there if Murray's out. I don't know how many minutes did Kira Lewis play last night. So, yeah, he only played 18 last night. He only played 21 the game before that. I mean, Campazzo's minutes are way more secure, so I would take Campazzo there. Rudy Gobert, yeah, I'm interested in Gobert. You know, there's some other centers I prefer. Like, I prefer Drummond for cheaper. I prefer J-Val for cheaper. But Gobert is definitely in play for me. Linnell Pickett, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that, man. Or woman, I don't know who you or what gender you are. I don't want to do anything like that. But thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Appreciate the additional support. Did you hear about Broderick Thomas being popular last night? That was a joke. Yeah, I think he projected really well in a lot of the projection sites. I don't know which projection site it was, but you know, a lot of the projection sites had him projected popular, or not popular, but projected very highly. So that's why he was popping, and you know, that's why a lot of people had him. I personally, I didn't even consider Broderick Thomas last night. So, I mean, I guess I got lucky. I mean, you would have thought with no Sexton, with no Garland, with no Dodson, like he was gonna get minutes. It didn't. I wouldn't say it wasn't a bad play. Like, you definitely got unlucky if you played Thomas. I mean, him playing 2 minutes. I mean, that was just weird. But yeah, I mean, I guess he was popping in the projection sites. So like a lot of the people that use projection sites, they had him in their optimal lineup. That's why he was so popular, I'd assume. You think there's enough value for Jokic today? I mean, right now there isn't a ton of value, but I mean, I don't even know if Jokic is going to be someone I try and jam in on this slate. Like, Jokic could put up 65, 70, and I wouldn't be surprised. But, like, there's other guys I think I'd go to. Like, I like Fox a lot. I like Mitchell a lot. Not saying they're going to outscore Jokic, but they could definitely come close to what he does, and they're a lot cheaper. So, even if a lot of value opens up, then, yeah, you could definitely pay up for Jokic. But right now, he's not someone I'm trying to jam in. Morant or Schroeder? I'd probably take Morant there between those two if I had to pick one. Is Westbrook a good pay-up option? I mean, I always have interest in Westbrook. On this slate, I don't know if this is a slate where I'm jamming in Westbrook like I have been recently, especially with Beal back. But you can never go wrong paying up for Westbrook. He always has that upside. Any interest in slow-mo? So Brandon Clark is back, and I think Kyle Anderson still got 30 minutes last game with Brandon Clark back, and he still did pretty well for his salary. So he played 28 minutes, had 30 DK points. I don't think he's going to play 34 minutes like he was the games when Clark was out. 5,900, that's still pretty affordable for Kyle Anderson if he's going to get around 30 minutes. He's a good point per minute player, so yeah, I don't mind him on this slate. He's definitely in play for me. Zion or Randall? I'd take Zion between those two. Bojan or THT? If we know Kuzma and Wesley Matthews are out again, I would take THT, but we don't have that news right now, so that's just a wait and see for me. If Kuzma's out again and THT starts, then I would take THT. Fantasy's Cruncher screwed everyone with that Broderick Thomas. Oh, I got you. My ad blog been updated. So I'm guessing he was popping on Fantasy Cruncher, and a lot of people use Fantasy Cruncher, so yeah, that makes sense, I guess, for him to be so popular. Bojan or Ingles? If you have the salary, I would definitely play Ingles. Ntilikina's minutes increased 25%. We should jam him in. I mean, Ntilikina, not even someone I've considered on this slate. I don't even know why you would want to play Ntilikina. It says he played 0 minutes last game. What do you think of Fox, Bain, Ingram, Zion, Holmes, Kyra Lewis, Cam Johnson, Marshall? I mean, there's some guys in there I probably wouldn't be. I don't think I'd be playing Ingram and Zion together on this slate. Bain, I don't have that much interest in. Cam Johnson, I never play. But, I mean, I guess the rest is okay, David, for now. So, Noah, let's get it. Two core to start with. I mean, I would say for now, it would have been some of those Brooklyn, Minnesota guys. Like, Naz Reid, I think, would have been, a top play if that game was going on. So, now that game's off the board. I like Joe Ingles still a lot. Joe Ingles was someone I already had a lot of interest in. I still like him quite a bit now. Or even more now that game has been postponed. So Joe Ingles, I think, is definitely a top play for me. Very likely that he winds up in my main lineup. Drummond I like quite a bit as well. At his salary, I think Drummond's still underpriced. So probably those two guys, I guess, two core guys to start with. I mean, if you want my full final core plays, those were posted on Patreon. But yeah, I guess those are two guys to start with. I can never say for sure, 3 hours before lock, I can never say for sure who I'm playing, but have a very good feeling those 2 guys will be in my lineup tonight. Ethan Johnson, $5 super chat. Hey man, I know sports gambling isn't available in your state, but have you ever tracked your win rate / potential winnings? I mean, I don't gamble on sports. I don't sports bet, so I can't really track my win rate if I've never sports betted before. But if you're talking about DFS, yes. I mean, tracking your DFS winnings is just your win rate, your potential winnings, seeing what contest you're having success in. That's super, super important. So if you guys have Roto Tracker, if you have access to Roto Tracker, that's what I use to track my DFS results. So highly suggest you get Roto Tracker if you can. And it's free for I think the first 750 entries you put into it, it's free. And then if you want to pay for more than that, you can. But yeah, it's free for the first 750 entries. That's what I use to track DFS, winnings and stuff. But sports betting, I mean, I've never sports betted before, so I can't really track that. I don't know what you would use to track that either. If you bet on DraftKings Sportsbook, I don't know if there's a site that allows you to track sports betting, winnings and stuff. But Roto Tracker is what I use for DFS, to track that. Westy torched Denver for an 80 burger last time. It was a very competitive game last time. Well, I mean, I don't think that really matters here because they're not playing Denver. I mean, they're playing Utah. Buddy Hield or Joe Ingles? I'd rather have Joe Ingles. Naz Reid, Naz Reid's not an option anymore. Now, that game's been suspended, so I don't have any interest in that. Or been postponed, so I don't have any interest in Naz Reid. Isn't THT suspended? He was suspended last game, or the game before that, but he's good now. He's playing. He played last game, and as long as Kuzma's out again, I assume THT starts again. Schroeder is questionable. I think he's probable, actually, DD. Let me check that. I saw he was probable, unless they changed some things. I know DraftKings has him listed as questionable, but he's probable here. So Schroeder is expected to play. Obviously, if he were to get ruled out, that would change a lot. But for now, I'm assuming Schroeder's in. Best center tonight with Jokic. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. I really like Andre Drummond. I like, J-Val as well. But I would say Drummond's probably my favorite center. What happened to the Brooklyn game? I had so much interest in that game. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think there was some riots or something outside the stadium. But yeah, the game's been postponed, so it's no longer on the slate. So if you have any Brooklyn, Minnesota guys, you gotta get them out. My Yahoo lineup for today: Fox, Mitchell, Campazzo, Ingles, O'Neal, Bazemore, Jokic, THT. I mean, assuming Kuzma's out and THT starts again, I think that's solid for now. MPJ, I don't think I'm going to MPJ. I just never play Michael Porter, and I haven't played him recently. On this slate, I don't think he's really someone I've considered DD. I think there's just other forwards I'd rather play over MPJ. I think I'd rather have Rashawn Holmes in a good matchup in a fast-paced game. I'd rather have Draymond Green for cheaper. I know Draymond Green's been bad lately, but I still can't get over that price tag. He's still very affordable in my opinion. Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, I think these are guys I'd be going to over MPJ. I never play Michael Porter. Fire up Bazemore and JTA. I mean, yeah, Bazemore I assume starts again, so I like him a lot. But JTA, that's dependent on if he starts or not. Action Network app is pretty good for betting or for tracking. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to use that, you can. But I don't sports bet, so I can't give any recommendations on what to use to track sports bets. I would, though, if it was legal in South Carolina where I live, I definitely would be sports betting. Hopefully one day it'll be legal at some point. Dennis getting ejected helped THT and Macklemore. I mean, yeah, it definitely benefited THT, but he was still on pace to play over 30 minutes. He was still going to get the minutes because, without Kuzma, without Wesley Matthews, there was a lot of minutes available. I would say that, Schroeder getting ejected helped his production. He should have been more productive without Schroeder out there, but he was still on pace to play pretty big minutes. So I think as long as he starts again, we get 30 minutes from THT. Will he be as productive as he was last game? Probably not, but I still do have interest in him. Zach LaVine, yeah, I mean, I have interest in Zach LaVine. I think I'd rather play Mitchell just straight up, but yeah, if I'm paying up at shooting guard, my two favorite options are Mitchell and Zach LaVine. THT or Bazemore, I think I already answered this, but if THT starts, I'd rather play him. So yeah, I would say THT if he starts. If Kuzma plays though and THT goes back to the bench, then give me Bazemore. I'm in Oregon, so I can bet on games from my phone and at the casino. Just curious because I know you said you wanted to. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish we could do that here. I mean, I went to Tennessee for a weekend trip with some of my friends, like back in December, and sports betting is legal in Tennessee, so I was able to sports bet then on the DK app, but I haven't been able to since then. Wiseman probably done for the season. We haven't seen the number one pick do his thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, didn't he get injured in college? I don't know a ton about Wiseman, but I know I think he just played literally like a few games in college, and then he got injured. I think injuries are probably going to be something that derails him. It sucks. Like, those young guys, you want them to stay healthy, man, but I think injuries were kind of, they kind of hurt him in college, and they've already, took a toll on his NBA career out of the gate. Favorite center tonight? I mean, for me, it's probably between Drummond or J-Val. I think right now I'd take Drummond, though. Favorite guards tonight? I mean, if you're paying up, I like De'Aaron Fox. I like Mitchell. In the mid-range, I'm interested in Ja Morant. I hate to say it, but I like Ja Morant tonight, which means he's probably going to do terrible. Cheap, I mean, there's not a ton of cheap guards I'm really looking to. So, like, those three, I think, stand out to me. We don't have a ton of value at guard right now, but obviously that could change from now to a lot. Gobert, Ingles, or Jokic and Marshall. Give me Gobert and Ingles there. Wall good, very low on turning play, or besides him at point guard, looking for a very low owned guy with high upside. Let's see. I mean, yeah, you could go with John Wall there. I was like Dejounte Murray. I don't know what his ownership's going to be, but Dejounte Murray is someone I always have interest in for tournaments just because he always has that kind of upside. I think a guy like Ja Morant is going to get more ownership than Dejounte Murray. So honestly, like if I was looking for a low-end point guard, I think Dejounte Murray would probably be the first guy I'd look to. I don't know what his ownership's going to be though. Westbrook or Zion, need a stud. I mean, I guess if you have the salary, you just play Westbrook there, but I would say for the savings, I'd probably take Zion. Like points per dollar wise, I think I'd take Zion. Was something going on in the San Antonio game last night for Murray and DeRozan to have such good games? I mean, I think they just had really good games, honestly. Like I don't know what Murray finished with. Let's see what he finished with. So he finished with 47 DK points in 33 minutes, so he was really productive. DeRozan finished with, let's see, 50 DK points in 35 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I guess they just were really productive last night. $4,300 last piece in utility spot. Hey, thank you for the $5 super chat, Martin. I appreciate that, man. $4,300 last piece. I would say the first guy that comes to mind would be Kent Bazemore, assuming you don't already have him. So I'd probably take Kent Bazemore there. If you already have Kent Bazemore, then my next favorite option would probably be Royce O'Neal. So one of those two guys, but Bazemore if you don't already have him. Fox or Levine? I would rather have Fox there between those two. Willie Cauley-Stein if he starts and Porzingis is out. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the starting lineup if Porzingis is out. They could start Maxi Kleber at center. I don't feel like that's really going to work against Joel Embiid. So Willie Cauley-Stein's back. Dwight Powell is back. Plus they have Boban. So if I remember correctly, last time they played the Sixers, I think Dwight Powell started, but he played like 12 minutes. Boban played like 10 minutes, and Willie Cauley-Stein played like 20 minutes or something. Like they just split up the center minutes between those three guys. Like it makes it tough. It depends on who starts, I guess. Like if Boban starts, I'm going to have interest in Boban if he's starting. The matchup's terrible against Embiid, but Boban's just such a good point per minute player that if he's starting, I like him at 3,400. If Powell starts or if Willie Cauley-Stein starts, I don't know if I'll go to them just because we've seen even when they make spot starts for Porzingis, they sometimes don't play many minutes. But Boban's such a productive player that he doesn't need a ton of minutes to really pay off his price. So for me, if Porzingis is out, I'm only going to the Dallas guys if Boban starts. If Boban doesn't start, then I'm probably not playing any of them. Favorite value play for tonight? I mean, right now, like a lot of the value that I was considering was in the Brooklyn-Minnesota game. So now that game is postponed, I've had to look elsewhere. I think like Kent Bazemore I'm looking to for value. I like Royce O'Neal for value. As gross as it sounds, Bojan I think's in play. If Juan Toscano-Anderson starts, he's a good value play. So it's between those three or four guys. I would say Kent Bazemore is probably the one I'm the most most comfortable with, I guess. Can you show us a sample lineup in Yahoo today? I mean, I can't give out full lineups. That's not what I do. I'm sorry, man, but I don't give out full lineups. Morant giving us one last chance to don't mess it up. I mean, yeah. Dude, like oh, God. I already know if I play Morant tonight, he's going to have like 30 DK points. And if I don't play him, he's going to put up like 50. So either way, I'm going to get screwed. But anytime I play Ja Morant, it just never works. But he looks like a good option tonight, especially with, with all those good plays from Brooklyn, Minnesota off the board now. Cashed $700 on the Masters, had a legit chance at 6K single entry and a ton on the big tournament. Hey, that's still a nice profit, David. Definitely did better than I did. I did not have a good week for the Masters. I played Jason Day, who missed the cut. I played Sergio, who missed the cut. JT was looking good for JT, and then he just completely fell apart Saturday. I mean, sucks. I could have had a better week if there was a couple guys I was considering over Sergio and Day. If I would have went with them instead, would have had a way better week. But it is what it is. I always get excited for the Masters. Even if I have a losing DFS week, it's such a fun sport or event to bet on, I should say, whether you're betting on it or you're playing DFS. Daniel Tice could be interesting low owned tonight. I mean, I really have no interest in Daniel Tice. Like, he's not really someone I've considered. Like, I don't really have any interest in Daniel Tice, honestly. You just play big single entry on DK. I mean, yeah, normally lately I've just been playing single entry tournaments. So lately I've just been playing everything $100 and down in single entry. That's probably what I'm going to do tonight as well. I've just been playing one lineup on DK, one lineup on Yahoo. And I've been having some success, so I think I'm going to keep doing it for sure. Especially for NBA, just because of, God, I mean, the late news and stuff, it gets so hectic if you have multiple lineups to manage, especially when news comes out that's not expected after lock. I mean, it just gets crazy if you have a lot of lineups to manage. So just playing one lineup just makes it so much more easier, so much less stressful. Kyle Anderson, a good play at 5,900 on DK. I mean, yeah, with Brandon Clark back, he's going to lose a few minutes, but I still have some interest in Kyle Anderson for sure. So, yeah, I think he's in play. Thoughts on Gobert? I mean, yeah, I have interest in Gobert. There's other centers I prefer, Justin. Like, I prefer Drummond for cheaper. I prefer J-Val for cheaper. But Gobert's he's in play for me for sure. Basically, all 5 of the Utah starters I think are viable. Mitchell, Ingles, Royce, Bojan, Gobert. I think all 5 are viable today. Interested in Ben Simmons with the price coming down? I can't go there. Ethan. Until we see Ben Simmons actually do something, like, I can't pay. I mean, he's still, like, he's not even that cheap. He's still, what is his price? Like, he's still 8,200. At least if you're talking DK, I mean, I don't have any interest in Ben Simmons at 8,200. He hasn't paid off this price in literally like 10 straight games. I can't go there until he needs to be like 7K at this point. Ben Simmons does. Bazemore or Bogdan, or Bojan, I guess, is what you mean. I'd probably take Bazemore, but that's definitely close between the two. But I think I would take Bazemore. I like Joe Val over Ja. Everyone's going to be on Ja, so it's a great spot to get different in. I mean, I think Joe Val's going to get some ownership as well. But yeah, I guess if you want to make that pivot, you can. I mean, you can definitely play J Val and Ja together. I don't see any reason why not. I mean, those are my 2 favorite plays from Memphis for sure, are those 2 guys. Yeah, Lonzo's out, Chopper. Lonzo's out. Thoughts on Grayson Allen tonight? I mean, I don't have a ton of interest in Grayson Allen. I saw DeAnthony Melton was ruled out. He's going to remain out. But like Grayson Allen's price has gotten up to a point where, you know, at 4,800, you really need him to have a good game to even pay off this price tag. And his floor is just so low. I mean, we've seen games where Grayson Allen just like this, 14 DK points, 17 DK points, 14 DK points. If he was like 3,800, maybe I'd go there. But at 4,800, I don't see really any reason to go to Grayson Allen today. Grayson Allen, I mean, he's just never a guy that I play. I think I've maybe played him once or twice this season. How do you feel about this lineup? Mitchell, Ingles, Bazemore, Bogdanovich, Drummond, Fox, THT, Bamba. I mean, that's pretty solid, Brandon. I said it earlier, like I don't have a ton of interest in Mo Bamba, especially if he's going to be popular again like he was last night. But, you know, as the last piece in, I guess that's fine. THT, though, just keep an eye on the Kuzma news. If Kuzma plays, I have no interest in THT. Favorite shooting guard on the slate, Booker, it's Donovan Mitchell for me. It's between Donovan Mitchell or Zach LaVine. I think it's going to be Mitchell. I prefer between those two. Bojan, MPJ, or J-Val. I mean, those three guys are like completely different price tags. Like Bojan's $4,900, J-Val's $7,300, MPJ is $7K. So, I mean, I take J-Val between the three. Who would you rather play than Jokic in GPPs? I mean, I don't think I'm paying up for like any of the studs above 10K today. I've said it earlier, my favorite stud options are Fox and Mitchell. So I guess one of those two guys if I was paying up for anyone. But I think those guys are going to be popular, so I mean, Jokic is in play, obviously. I just don't know if I'm in my one lineup tonight if I'm playing Jokic. I don't think I am. Unless we just get a ton of great value that opens up from now till lock, which I doubt happens. Who has the better upside in your opinion, Vooch or J-Val, both on back-to-back? I mean, they're two different price points. I mean, what's Vooch's price? He's $9,100. J-Val is $7,300. So, I mean, if you're asking who scores more points, Vooch probably outscores J-Val. But when you factor in that J-Val is almost $2,000 cheaper, I'd probably rather have J-Val. Sorry I'm late. Do we have any good value today? I mean, Danny, a lot of the good value from today's slate was coming from Brooklyn, Minnesota. And if you haven't heard, or if you haven't seen already, that game's been postponed. So I'm looking to guys like Kent Bazemore, Juan Toscano-Anderson if he starts, Bojan, Royce O'Neal. Like, these are the guys I'm considering for value today. Value's not great now that game's been postponed. Harrell versus Olynyk, I would definitely take Olynyk there for sure. I don't have with Montrezl or with Andre Drummond, playing now. I have no interest in Montrezl Harrell. I know Harrell got increased minutes last game, but a lot of that was due to blowout. Most nights we're going to get about 30 minutes from Drummond and probably 18 from Harrell. So no interest in Harrell for me. What's up, Noah? Do you like Bojan or Bazemore? I mean, I like both. If I had to pick one, I think right now I'd take Bazemore between the two, but I think both are in play. Loving Mo Bamba tonight for value. Your thoughts? I mean, I mentioned it earlier, Des. I don't have any interest in Mo Bamba. I know he's had some good games recently, but he's going to play at most 23 minutes. He could go out there and put up 30 DK points in 23 minutes, but like if he's going to be somewhat popular like he was yesterday, I don't have any interest in Mo Bamba. Like, I just don't play guys unless they're like great point per minute players like Boban. Like, I just don't play guys that need to put up a huge game in like 20 minutes. And that's basically what Bamba needs to do. He needs to put up 30 DK points in 20 minutes. Now, if Wendell Carter were to get ruled out and Mo Bamba were to start, then yes, I would love Mo Bamba, but I don't think I can go there with him coming off the bench and at most getting low 20s minutes. Any decent $10 guard options on Yahoo? I mean, I don't think there really is, honestly. I can take a look, but like a lot of the, like Chris Chioza, I would have said, but obviously that game is postponed. I mean, you got Seth Curry, $10. Like Campazzo, yeah. So if Jamal Murray's out, I would take Campazzo most likely. I don't think there's anyone else I'd play over Campazzo. Let's see. Yeah, I'd probably take, if Jamal Murray's out, I'd probably take Campazzo as your $10 guard on Yahoo. What do you think about Pirtle tonight? Should be getting 4+ blocks on that matchup. I mean, I don't really look at a matchup and say a guy should be getting blocks. So, yeah, I don't really have any interest in Pirtle, honestly. I don't know what makes you think that a matchup against Orlando is one where you should get like blocks. I don't know why you say that. Unless like Orlando's a team that gets blocked a lot. I don't know. Going with this for now, Fox, Mitchell, Ingles, Harkless, Drummond, Ja, Barton, Marshall. I mean, Harkless, God, like I don't want to play Mo Harkless, but I guess that's fine for now, David. I may have missed this, but the Brooklyn-Minnesota game get postponed. Yes, it did, Robert. It got postponed like a couple hours ago. Drummond still got it. He looked really good against Brooklyn. I mean, yeah, Drummond, especially until AD and LeBron return, I mean, Drummond should be really productive with the Lakers. Like, I don't think he's going to play like 36 minutes a night, but I think he's going to play probably 30 minutes a night, and most nights you're going to get 40-plus DK points from Drummond. I mean, he's a great point-per-minute player. Like, Drummond's a guy that can easily put up 20 and 10 like every night. Especially, now without LeBron, without AD, Drummond should be really productive when he's out there. So, yeah, he is way underpriced for today. I said it in my video last night. Like, Drummond, I bet you 2 days from now, 3 days from now, Drummond's going to be like 8K. So you want to get on him now while he's just 6,800. Morris or O'Neal? I mean, if Kyle Kuzma's out, I would take Markieff Morris. But if Kyle Kuzma plays, I think I'd go with Royce. 238 people in chat. Like the video, boys? Yeah, guys, hit the like button. That's awesome. We got over 200 people in here. Appreciate all y'all being here as always, man. Hit that like button. We'll be live for about 10, 15 more minutes. Better play Cole Anthony or Derrick Rose? If I had to pick one, I'd take Cole Anthony between those two. Is Kuzma available? I just got here. He's still questionable. We don't know yet. Is Isaiah Thomas going to play? I don't even think he was in the rotation last game. Even with Lonzo out, I don't think Isaiah Thomas even played. Yeah, he's only played 2 games. I don't think he's been in the rotation. Like, they've been going with Kyra Lewis over Isaiah Thomas. So, yeah, Isaiah Thomas not even in the rotation. I would not recommend playing him. Best value point guard under 4K on DK? I would say it's probably, if Jamal Murray's out, it's probably Campazzo. He is, let's see. Yeah, he's 3,600. So if Jamal Murray's out, I would say Campazzo is your best value point guard under 4K. Who would you take in the captain's pick tonight? Golden State versus Denver? I mean, I don't play Showdown, Ricky. Like, if I had to pick anyone, I guess it would be Jokic. But I mean, I don't know. I don't play Showdown. I would say probably like jamming Jokic, I guess. Let's talk about why isn't IT playing. I mean, I guess they just prefer Kyra Lewis over him. I mean, at this point, I don't think, like, Isaiah Thomas just, I mean, he's nowhere near the player that he used to be. They probably, I don't know. I guess they just signed him for some point guard depth while, Lonzo was injured. But with Kyra Lewis back, I mean, Kyra Lewis is going to be the guy that, Kyra Lewis is going to play over Isaiah Thomas. Like, Isaiah Thomas is not going to just come in and take the job from Kyra Lewis. Kyra Lewis has been pretty good off the bench this year, so. It sucks. Like, man, 4 or 5 years ago when Isaiah Thomas was on the Celtics, oh, man, that dude was just another level. I still remember watching some of his games. Like, the game after his sister died, I think, he dropped like 50 points or something. I mean, Isaiah Thomas, man, that dude used to be so good. And it was crazy. Like, he was literally like my height, like 5'8", and dude would just go out there and ball. Thoughts on Taylor Horton Tucker and Juan Toscano Anderson? So, I mean, those are both news dependent. Juan Toscano Anderson, for me, it depends on if he's starting or not. If he doesn't start, then I'm probably not going there. But if he's starting, I like him a lot as a value play. And then Taylor Horton Tucker, it depends on if Kuzma's in or out. If Kuzma plays, I don't have any interest in Taylor Horton Tucker. But if Kuzma's out again and THT starts, then yeah, I like him quite a bit. Any Rashawn Holmes love for tonight? In tournaments, I have interest in him. Now, like for cash games, there's going to be guys I prefer. Like in my one lineup, I'd rather have Drummond for cheaper. I'd rather have J-Val for cheaper. But if you're playing multiple tournament lineups, I think, getting Rashawn Holmes in your player pool definitely makes sense. Really just having a lot of exposure to the Sacramento-Brooklyn game is going to be a way to go because there will probably be like 240 points scored in that game if I had to guess. If not, maybe even more than that. Isaiah Thomas had the fastest fall-off ever. I was kind of crazy. He was so good in Boston, then all of a sudden just straight downhill. Yeah, I think he got injured. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure he got injured. He was literally getting ready to sign like a big contract with Boston, I think, and then he got injured, and he just never been the same since then. Al Horford's status these days, old will not play. I mean, yeah. I don't know if that's Al Horford's choice or if that's the organization's choice. All right, guys, we've been live for about 45 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up things here. I do appreciate all you guys tuning in, as always. Should be back again tomorrow for another stream. I'm not sure what time lock is, but we'll probably be live sometime in the afternoon tomorrow. Hope you guys will all tune in for that. I'll obviously have a video up for tomorrow's slate. I wish you guys the best of luck tonight. If I don't take down a tournament, hope one of you guys do. All right, good luck, fellas. Good luck tonight.